Greetings, everybody, and welcome to STO World. Tony here with you. And yeah, it's been almost about a month since I recorded the last video, but I do have a few things recorded for the next couple of videos, and including a run through Cure Ground Elite with a really good group, and also some other really cool stuff coming up. So, welcome to episode 10, and we're going to be discussing the Omega reputation system as well as the eliteSTF channel. And what we're going to do is, when we discuss this channel, we're going to obviously, talk a bit about, how to get an eliteSTF going, etc., etc. And we are also going to talk about the Omega rep system, as I stated before. And then, towards the end, you'll see me take it in my Dominion Jem Hadar Dreadnought carrier that I've had for quite some time now. I'll kind of go over a little bit of this as far as, what's going on with this carrier and how I use it. But I'm not going to go super in depth because I will actually do an episode on this ship eventually. But I will briefly go over what I do with this. So anyway, we're sitting here outside of the dilithium mine in orbit of the planet where the fleet dilithium mine is at. Your new fleet holding that was in one of the last patches, and it's some pretty cool stuff. I mean, really, really cool stuff. And, we're almost to a tier 2 mine. And sometimes these projects are really annoying and they take forever. But this is the inside of it. And you'll be able to get some really cool warp cores and things like that. So, but like this, for example, once you hit the tier, once you get to the right tier, oh yeah, advanced, you get the elite warp cores eventually. So, or singularity if you have a Romulan. So anyhow, let's talk about the Omega reputation system. As you know, as many people know, a while ago, but it's been a long time now since they converted to this, but they started the reputation system here on Star Trek Online months and months ago now. And they took the old way of doing STFs was that you would end up getting random loot drops. Now you pay for them. You do projects over here. So if I go to reputation system, Task Force Omega, and you see where you can do these projects and all this other fun stuff. And of course, with each reputation system, Nukara, Romulus, and Task Force Omega, each tier that you do with these projects, you can get a new special passive ability added to your character. So the one that I'm specifically going to go over, though, is the Task Force Omega. This is the most common one that people will basically power themselves up on. And it's easy. It's the easiest because there are more ways to earn marks. You have the STFs, and you got about 8 different STFs to do this with, 4 ground and 4 space. And well, I have to say that out of the Romulan and Nukara, this has my favorite set of abilities as well. I really love STFs too because there's something that I specialize in this game. And anybody that's in our fleet, they know that, hey, this is the STF guru right here. And all this other stuff. So let's talk a bit about it first. First, what the rep system is. You do projects. And to give you an example, so you get a project. It has certain things you want to do. Go here. Bada boom. If I want to get dilithium, you can go through this and you can get all sorts of cool stuff like the Mako ground sets and space sets if you kind of scroll down a little bit. Also the adapted sets and the Omega sets as well. I mean, you can get a lot of stuff through this reputation system here. And I'm briefly going to go over my abilities so far. So the first ability that I'm going to go into. So when you get to each one is a project. Now I can't show you the actual projects to do this because I've completed them all, but you get points kind of similar to your starbase, and you get points and you get to a tier. So for example, tier 1, you get to a certain area, tier 2, 3, etc., etc., when you get to so many reputation points. And each time you get to pick between 2 abilities on this, which I think is great. So let's talk a bit about the Omega abilities. So the first tier, when you get to it, you get Omega weapon proficiency for space, or no, ground, I'm sorry. And or you can choose between regenerate 20% of your health every 60 seconds in ground combat. Now, 60 seconds on a ground combat mission, in my opinion, is way too long. And being a tactical officer, I'd rather just have the weapon proficiency because you have it at all times, and it helps you do a lot more damage to kill your enemy before you would ever need this, before this would even need to take effect. You go to tier 2, which is cool, and each tier gives you different things. For example, you can unlock these for your store, and each one has a store. For example, you got your consumables with different cool stuff in there, as you see. Elite power cells, shield chargers, etc. Borg prosthetics, and your Borg duty officers, as well as anti-proton, anti-Borg rifles. Now, here's the thing. I advise everybody, do not waste time and resources on doing projects for the lower tier stores. For example, just wait till you get to the upper tier and then unlock the Mark 12 stores, because really, honestly, there's no point in unlocking lower tiers and wasting resources on it when you could easily just do projects to get the upper tier stuff and unlock the store for the upper tier stuff that's Mark 12, which is the best gear. So in my opinion, I didn't waste any time doing any of the Mark 12 stuff as well. So that's pretty much how we go. So so anyway, you can do these store unlocks, and you can unlock these liberated Borg officers and new equipment projects. Again, once you unlock this, you can get the assimilated universal console, which is something that I use in every ship. This thing is awesome. Even if you don't have a Borg set to go with it, it still gives you some nice abilities and stuff like that. And tier 2, you could do the same thing. You can unlock stores for the anti-proton rifles. Again, I would wait till Mark 12. That's just my opinion. You can get the cutting beam, which is cool. I have that on a ship. And the Honor Guard space sets, or Mako, Omega, whatever. So, and your passive ability. Now, the ability that I picked, you could pick regenerates 10% of your hull every 60 seconds, or plus 30 weapons training. Honestly, I'm a TAC officer. I'm picking weapons training. That's just me. Now, tier 3. Tier 3, guys and girls, I'm going to tell you what right now. This is the ability that, in my opinion, there's no question of which one you should basically take. And I'm going to tell you why. When you get to tier 3, this is when you can unlock the Mark 12 stuff, which is what you should unlock as far as the space stuff goes. And you have two different passive abilities. The first ability is a +4 shield regeneration every 1 second. But here's the thing. If you STF a lot, if you farm dilithium like I do, doing STFs, and you do the ground ones, which the ground ones don't yield the resources you would get from, say, the space STFs. But here's the thing about it, is that you can get this rotating weapon frequency, which basically slows down the Borg adaptation to your weapon. So basically, it like almost doubles the amount of shots you get before you got to remodulate your weapon instantly. And that is what's great. This is what's really cool. I love the fact that this ability exists. It's like literally one of the best abilities that I think that you can have, because literally before, what most people would do is you would take two different weapon types. Like I had a plasma Borg sniper rifle, and I would use a like a phaser shotgun, or use an anti-proton shotgun and a phaser, or like a Mako sniper rifle or whatnot. Well, this, you can use the same weapon type but switch between them and still get enough shots before, by the time this thing cools down. Before, if you use the same weapon type, you would run out of shots before the cooldown would be over on the rotating weapon frequency. Well, now it doesn't do that anymore. Now you get plenty of shots in, and by the time it adapts, this thing will have its cooldown done well before the Borg will adapt to your stuff, and I think that's great. Tier 4, again, it lets you unlock some consumables and stuff in the store, and the prosthetic arms are pretty cool weapons as well. And I'll show you some of those here in a second. But then you pick between, and this was a tough one for me, because you have the shield regeneration every 6 seconds, but then you have this thing, which 2% chance, 11.3 kinetic damage with 100% shield penetration. It was a toss-up for me. I took this ability instead. And then the last ability, which in every rep system you only get one, and this nanite cloud's pretty slick, because if you're on you're saying you're doing a mission with 4 other people, or you're doing an exploration mission on the ground with your bridge officers, if they all get knocked out and you hit this, you have a 50% chance of them revitalizing themselves. And this will also remove the assimilation buff if you're doing, like, say if a Borg hits you and you're about to be assimilated, you see your little hit points starting to go down. Well, the cool thing about this is that it will remove that buff as well. So, pretty cool stuff, in my opinion. So, and here's some of the stuff in the store. You got typical anti-proton rifles with a Borg passive ability, basically doing extra damage. And they only have anti-proton. Now, in the old store at DS9, before they did the big conversion, if many of you remember, you can get any type of weapon. And I do have a few of those. I have a... oh, what do you want to call it? Right here. A Tetrion Pulse Wave Borg weapon. And I have this sucker, this plasma sniper rifle with a Borg... with extra Borg damage, which is nice. But, you know, you really can't get these anymore. Now, these things are cool. These prosthetics, I would definitely check them out. I have a couple of my Borg officers outfitted with them. So, pretty cool stuff. And they're cheap in dilithium. You're looking at, you know, even without the discount, you're still looking at a pretty good price on these. So, yeah, so that's pretty much what we got going on as far as this goes. So, now we're going to go take a little bit of a look at, and here's the other thing. If you want to farm dilithium, before I get into the eliteSTF project, if you wanted to farm dilithium, when you do enough of these STFs, you get so many of these things right here that like 5 of these will net you 1,000 dilithium. So once you're done, you got everything unlocked that you want to unlock, you just keep doing it. 500 marks, and marks are easy to come by. I have a lot of Omega marks and a lot of these neural processors, which these Omega marks and processors are the way you can unlock projects such as, you know, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Projects like this. Let's say this personal shield. You know, it costs this many marks, neural processors, expertise, etc. Now I'll get rid of the project because I already have too many of these things, but that's pretty much the Omega rep system, and it's pretty simple. You know, if you have any questions in game, you could always ask me. But I want to now get into the eliteSTF channel because we're going to do an STF with my Borg carrier. I'm going to show you the carrier really quick, as I showed you before. Pretty cool stuff. You can I'll kind of beam out of here. But the cool thing about the Jem Hadar Dreadnought carrier, first of all, it's like a tanking DPS machine. You could take this thing. I mean, I don't really PvP. But I do in this ship with my fleet. I use this carrier as kind of like an anchor, and I really think it's awesome because it could take a lot of punishment. It could deal a ton of damage, and the Jem Hadar fighters, I think, in my opinion, are the best things in the game. Now you could put Jem Hadar fighters on it. These things right here, they're not bad. I mean, sorry, they're not bad. They do have some really cool stuff, but in my book, it's got to be the attack fighters. And the Jem Hadar attack ships, they are absolutely 100% amazing. I mean, they just do so much. And you can get up to 4 of them, you know, because 2 out of each hangar bay, which I think is stellar. And these things are they're just amazing. So, you know, so check these out. Not only do you have the, you know, different abilities these things have, but they just do everything. I mean, they actually have pull-around dual cannons, beam arrays, pull-around turrets, and quantum torpedoes. And they will also what they will do, which is a really cool ability, is they will actually use this anti-proton sweep on enemies and lower their shields and take out cloaking devices. So it's really freaking awesome the way that. So I really think this is a great ship. I was a huge, you know, of all the lock boxes that came out, I was huge on the Dominion one. I still buy them. The Romulan one really doesn't interest me, but you have this, you know, your dual heavy cannons, and your polarized, I guess what you want to call them, polarized, phased pull-around beam banks, hit cannons, quantum torpedoes, anti-Borg, and then your, you know, phased pull-around beam arrays basically here. I had a little special surprise, a bio-Nero warhead. And I had this. I put some Polaron turrets, which I thought would be fitting. The set, the Universal Dominion Coordination Protocol, which is cool. It'll expose enemy weaknesses. Or I'm sorry, this one does. Command interface. And then you have this thing right here, which is kind of cool because it's a buff for your surrounding enemies as well, which is pretty cool. And then you have hull platings, which I got to put another hull plating. I don't think I need this thing anymore. But I just put a standard generic warp core. I'm actually not going to buy a warp core until we get the elite ones. I'm not going to waste the dilithium on it. So, but that's the thing in a nutshell. So let's talk about eliteSTF. Now, channel eliteSTF is a private invite-only channel for people who are into doing STFs and are hardcore like myself. And, people that want to hit the optionals, that want to get the accolades, that want to be able to earn Omega marks and things. And so many people do them. But, in my opinion, this channel is the best of the best. I mean, you just don't get any better than the eliteSTF channel. It just doesn't get any better than this. That's just it is. It is what it is. And K7, of course, is my home. So what is the eliteSTF channel? Well, eliteSTF is a channel for people that want to do STFs, that want to get the accolades, that want to get the optionals, that want to just be with groups of people who are not only equipped and experienced to play these missions, but who also want to be on in the case of people like myself or newer players. You can learn a lot from doing the eliteSTFs, but it is kind of an exclusive channel. You got to get an invite to it. You have to get an admin to invite you, but it's a great channel. I mean, you can go on there and find people to play STFs with easily, and people that are good at them. Not like a public game where you get people, you get noobs and everything else that, where people don't know what they're doing or don't care. eliteSTF is a great channel. It really is. And there are some basic ground rules. Again, it's a professional civil worthy of. It's basically a professional civil channel, and it's worthy of the word elite because it's that cool, and so many people go on there. So, some ground rules on this channel though, because some people don't like to read the rules. There is a URL for eliteSTF, as you're seeing on your screen right now. No racial, political, religious, or otherwise discriminating remarks, slurs, or arguments will be tolerated. You can't troll, flame. You can't flip out because somebody messed up. People make mistakes. If somebody messes up in an STF, don't flip out. Start cussing them out. Start telling the channel how awful they are, because that's not only immature, it is a video game. We're here to have fun, and that is the purpose of this channel, to have fun. That is why we are here to begin with anyway. No spamming the channel, and you can't item link or recruit for your fleet. So, and no cussing, no derogatory abbreviations for ways to join a game. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite a couple members of my fleet. We're going to do an instance of Cure Space Elite here, and some of the members of Olympus. I need a hull plating out of here. I guess I'll get this one. You get these. We're going to get some of the members of Olympus to, come on, and I'm going to look for some people to join the eliteSTF channel. Because I don't want to make this episode too long, because then people are going to be like, oh crap, why is it being so long, and what's taking you there? It takes so long, and yada yada yada. So, what I'm going to do, extra hull plating always works on these. Make this a tank for PvP. So, anyhow, so I'm going to invite some people on the fleet, and here on Battlefleet Olympus. And it's Terok and Zircon, I think they want to join. By the way, I don't really PvP too much, but we had a kick-ass run on eliteSTF. And basically what you do is you go and say, you basically do the abbreviation. And so how you get a game going is you go here. You go create private. So we're going to do the Cure Found, which is the Cure Elite. And let's say CSE Olympus. And what I'm going to do is invite a couple guys in the fleet that want to do this. So let's go to Zircon, who And maybe I'll invite some of the other... Maybe I'll invite Sky, too. So I got to invite one person. And Tarok, of course, our fleet CEO, per se. And, yeah. So Sky's going to use his Morgana tune here. And I'm going to look for one more. So what you do is this. Usually what you would do is type CSC, type, I don't know, BFO for invite. So what I'm going to do is, since I need one more person, it's going to be this. LF, one more, CSC, type BFO for invite. That's what I'll do. Oops, I put it on my own channel. And that's pretty much how you do eliteSTFs, and it's a great channel. And if you need like help, here we go. Phantom Stranger, this guy here, he's actually done quite a few STFs with me. You get to know people on the channel too. You get to know the people that are really good, and there you go. So. And you just basically go, and so you set your game rules. Now, the channel has no ground rules. Whoever forms the game, set your rules there. You know, so for example, I'm going to set the rules. Who's going to do... Yeah, I messed up. So, who has the Kang? Normally, I'm the one that always takes the Kang, which is why people love doing CSE with me, because I'll take the Kang all the time. But today, I'm in my carrier. You know what? I don't want to take the Kang. I'm just not into doing that. I just... You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and Phantom Stranger's got a new tune. You know, and again, as I type to him, so who has Kang? So you know, you got to always establish that. Then you establish your loot and your strategy, like I'm doing right now. I've got to clear my throat a little bit because I've been talking too much now. So we're gonna do this. So all right, we're gonna start it, and this is kind of real time, so I don't know how well we're gonna do. A couple guys on new tunes. And yeah, we're gonna try this out, baby. Here we go. This is eliteSTF, Cure Space Elite. Some 4 guys from Battlefield Olympus and Phantom Stranger, who very good STFer. I've done quite a few with him over the years. So here we go. Now, one of the things is this little interface that gives you hit points on the ships, your carrier pets. I thought this was awesome. And you can control each individual wing, which I think is cool. If you look over there, that was one of the updates that they added. I think the devs did a great job with this, doing something like this, because this was a huge upgrade, like the many of upgrades that they've put on this game over the past, oh wow, almost over 3 years. Think about this. It's been almost 4 years since this game has been out. Just outstanding. And so far, looking pretty good. Yeah, and I knew Phantom Stranger was going to be good. The guy's got a killer Romulan ship. And unfortunately, he's drawing some aggro here. But so anyhow, enjoy the music. You're going to watch us attack Cure Space Elite. And I'll be back talking a little bit right after this is done.
all across the universe. I live my dreams of a golden beach where I used to spend my days. Out here on this space debris, I'm riding along the waves. Spaced out, no doubt, no doubt. We've all gone crazy. We've all gone crazy. Spaced out, wanna cry, crazy. We're all crazy. Oh yeah. Spaced out, no doubt. Our future looks hazy. Spaced out, I wanna shout. We're all gonna die. Spaced out,
magic in my memories. It's getting darker and darker and darker. My hands are frozen and steam comes out of my mouth as I whisper my last words. See the fade away. The train is moving forward and closer. Can't stand up and walk away. Once I made my mind up so long ago. Now I can't change. It is just
I would probably say that it was pretty good. It did not too bad, actually. So, you know, Phantom Stranger had a new ship, new tune, so he wasn't really STF equipped probably, but he does pretty good, you know, anyway, regardless. And, you know, we had 3 other members of my fleet, of our fleet, which is Battlefleet Olympus. So Terox, Zircon, and Sky, 3 guys I also do some PvP with here and there, and that's about it. So, with that being said, thank you for watching episode 10 of STO World. I'll be back again very soon.